Hey, what's up, guys? Alex here. Back today to make another vinyl update video. I think this is number 43. And it's been about a week now since my last one, my last vinyl update. I think it was about 8 days ago. And I did say in that video that I would be showing, I was going to kind of do like a retrospective vinyl update when I got back to uni to show you guys the finds that I picked up kind of in the second half of 2014 because I didn't get around to showing them. But I still haven't gone back to Oxford yet. I still haven't gone back to uni, so I still don't have haven't had the chance to show you guys those records. But in the meantime, I thought I'd make another vinyl update today and show you the records I picked up in the meantime, in the last week. So these are all new additions to the collection. I've got about 5 or 6 records in total to show, so it's been a good week for record shopping. I haven't spent a whole lot of money. I've been quite conservative with what I've spent, but I think I've managed to get some nice things and a couple of bargains here and there. So I can't complain, and it's nice to be kind of heading into the new year with with a little bit more money and a little bit more disposable income to spend on records. And 6 records in a week is a lot for me, so feels good. So yeah, I'm gonna get on and show these. Playing in the background is Miles Davis. I'm listening to the original mono recordings on Spotify, and I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving these mono recordings. It just sounds so pure and so clear, and it's just awesome. So that's what's playing in the background. Without further ado, I'll get straight into the finds. I'm going to start off with all of my second-hand finds. I've only got one brand new record to show, which came from Amazon, and I've got 5 second-hand records, so I'll get straight into the second-hand ones now. So kicking off with a bit of a classic. So happy to finally get my hands on a copy of this album. I've searched far and wide for this, and I've come across many copies, and whatever the circumstances have been, I just haven't picked it up for some weird reason. But I finally got a copy of Stevie Wonder with his 1973 album Inner Visions, of course. Many people consider this to be his kind of magnum opus, his masterpiece, the best album he ever put out. I would have to agree. Certainly from the albums I've heard of Stevie Wonder, I would have to say this is by far my favourite. I'm kind of coming into liking kind of neo soul music a lot more now. It's always been a genre which I've only really scratched the surface of in the past, and through talking to my friend Brandon and other people and listening to some more Stevie Wonder and Marvin Gaye and all of these classic artists from the 70s, and listening to a lot more hip-hop as well, really started to gravitate and listen to a lot more soul music, and this is awesome. Certainly one of the greatest soul albums of all time, in my opinion, and mind-blowing album. This is a pressing I picked up in the same place I picked up my Blood on the Tracks record that I showed in my last update, in Swindon. And I have to thank Brandon, who I just mentioned, obviously the gatefold there, for introducing me to this, telling me to listen to it, and I listened to it on my headphones on Spotify. It just blew me away straight from the off, and I actually came across a copy the next day of this in another store, and it was like a brand new issue. It wasn't the same pressing as this, because this is the textured cover, which I'm not sure is the original or not. But I came across like it was literally mint condition copy of Inner Visions for I think £4 or £5, and for some reason I didn't pick it up, and then a couple of weeks later I got this for a £5. So yeah, very, very happy to have this album, and yeah, if you haven't heard this, then definitely get on it, because it's a masterpiece. So that's the first of the second-hand records. Second of all, got this on the same day as Inner Visions, and again, I thought this was a bit of a bargain when I saw it. I saw it in a crate that this guy had. He's got this store, and it's kind of like a very independent shop. It only sells second-hand records, and he has just crates upon crates of records that you can dig through, but it's very unorganized. It takes a long time to actually find anything. And he had this just sitting in a crate, and it had a label of $2.99 on it, and I immediately got very excited because I've been looking for this album for a while, and finally picked up a copy of Genesis's. Is this their second full-length studio album? I'm not entirely sure. I think this came out in the early 70s, maybe 1970 or 71. And as you can see, yeah, the label there was $2.99. It's actually a W.H. Smith label, which made me slightly suspicious. And I asked the guy, and he said, well, I wasn't going to sell it for £3, but considering it's still got the price tag on it, I'm kind of going to have to sell it to you for that. And obviously, I bought it for £3, which I thought was a very good deal. This is, I've been told by Adam Nichols, my friend Adam, that this is a mid-70s press of Trespass. Just quickly show you the record. It's got the lyric sheet, all in very good condition. The record is very, very good. No scratches at all. The sleeve is immaculate. And this is the Small Hatter label. So, yeah, good stuff. I'm very, very happy to finally have this to add to my my Genesis collection. I now need to pick up or look for a copy of Foxtrot, which is the next album by them that I need to pick up. But I haven't heard this album in a long time. I'm not sure how much I liked it on the first listen. I know it's not my favourite of theirs. It didn't really grab me on the first listen. But I need to give it more of a chance, give it a few more plays, and I'll probably end up liking it a lot more. But yeah, very, very happy to have that one, which was picked up on the same day as the Stevie Wonder album. So those are the first two. Moving on now to 3 records I picked up, I think, 2 days ago. I went into Swindon again, and there's 3 or 4 places in Swindon that sell secondhand records, and they're all pretty reliable, pretty affordable. You know, you get some good deals in there. And I came across these. These were in a 3 for £10 crate, which doesn't normally have very good stuff in it, but I saw these 3 and they kind of all go together, so I thought I'd take a chance and pick them up. And what I'm talking about is a set of 3 of these the Who and Hendrix Backtrack albums. This is Backtrack 5. Just a very, very standard sleeve. Then we've got Backtrack 3. As you see, very similar sleeve, just slightly different colour scheme. But that's Backtrack 3, and then finally we have a purple Backtrack 4. And these are all on the Track label, as the name suggests, on the Track record label. And I don't know much about these. I've seen them about the place. I've seen them in various record stores. My record store in Oxford had a couple of these, and they were kind of going for £10, £15 each in my Oxford record store. As I say, I saw these 3 for £10 and just jumped on them because I'm a big fan of, obviously, The Who and especially Hendrix. I'm a massive Hendrix fan, and basically what these Backtrack albums are is a kind of split LP between obviously The Who. So you've got one side of The Who and one side of Hendrix. So every album, of course, has different songs on it. So this one, Backtrack 5, has Magic Bus, Boris the Spider, Tattoo, Pinball Wizard, I'm Free, by The Who. And then on the B-side, you've got Rainy Day, Dream Away, Manic Depression, Come On, Spanish Castle Magic, Voodoo Chili. And I'm not entirely sure if they're the studio versions of these songs, and they were just kind of compiled into these albums. But I put one on the other night in my brother's room because he's got a record player, and they sounded great. Very, very good condition. There's hardly any scratches on these, so I consider this a bit of a bargain. I'm very, very happy to have these, and now my main focus is on picking up the rest of the series. Obviously, I'm missing Backtrack 1, Backtrack 2, and I think there's 6, 7, and 8, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I'm happy I picked those up, and happy I got them for a good price. So last but by no means least, we have the only new record I've picked up in the last week. I had some credit remaining on my Amazon account, so I thought I'd put it towards a record. And I was looking through Amazon for quite some time, looking for records, and there's tons of classics, albums that I'm so in love with that I haven't yet picked up a vinyl copy of. And there was many things I was tempted by, but eventually I came across this, and I saw it was quite pricey, but I couldn't resist picking this up, and I did kind of splurge on it. I spent too much on this. I'm sure you can find it cheaper in other places, but I have noticed that with Amazon recently. I don't know if you guys have come across this, but the prices for vinyl on Amazon have definitely kind of skyrocketed in the last month or so, and I speculate that's something to do with kind of the resurgence of vinyl and the increased demand for it. But yeah, prices have definitely been going up. You used to be able to get really good deals on there, kind of like brand new records for anywhere from £12 to £15, and now everything seems to be between kind of 20 and 30, and sometimes even more than that. And I don't really understand why, but anyway, yeah, this was there for £29, and it came out last year. The reissue came out last year, and it's the first time it's ever been put out on vinyl. And I know this sounds weird to say, but this was actually kind of a minor grail for me, seeing this on Amazon and picking it up. It's kind of a minor grail for me, even though I only heard this, I only became aware of this album about 2 months ago. My friend Brandon, again, big props to Brandon, seems to be recommending all my music, but he suggested I listen to this and just blew me away time after time, and I had to pick it up. And the album I'm talking about is Clipse with Hell Hath No Fury, of course, from 2006. First time this has ever been issued on vinyl, as this sticker says. And what can I say about this? An absolute classic, hip-hop classic, masterpiece, definitely Clipse's best album, even though I haven't fully heard their first album. Many people consider this, it's highly regarded as their best album so far. And of course, Clipse is made up of the brothers Pusha T, who's this guy, and Malice, which is this guy. He's now known as No Malice, I think. And this was put out in 2006, their second album, their sophomore album, I think. And the first time it's ever been put out on vinyl, and I'm so stoked to have this. I listened to this about 2 months ago, as I said, thanks to a recommendation from Brandon. He was massively into this, and he said, you've got to hear this, you won't be disappointed. And I put it on for the first time, and it was one of those albums that didn't take me any time to kind of digest or get my head around. It was just straight in there. One of those hip-hop albums that hits you from the first listen and you're just instantly hooked by it, and this was definitely a case of that. I just completely blew my socks off and took my breath away from the first listen, and ever since then I've been playing it and replaying it time and time again. I've probably heard this 15 to 20 times in the last couple of months, and that's the reason I say it's kind of a grail for me, because it's definitely one of my favourite hip-hop albums of all time now. And yeah, I mean, Clipse are just awesome in every way. I mean, great kind of duo. They work very well together. They complement each other, much like Run the Jewels do and Outkast and all these great kind of hip-hop duos. Clipse definitely kind of bounce ideas off one another. They bounce lyrics off one another, and they kind of complement each other in every aspect. And that's so true on this album. It just sounds like they're both on top form. And lyrically, this is amazing. I mean, there's not a weak track on here lyrically. I think they're both delivering some great lines, some very hard-hitting lines, some very varied and diverse lyrics on here. There's not really a one-dimensional album. You can appreciate it on many levels. In terms of content, it's kind of what you would expect from these guys, because obviously they came from quite a hard background where drug dealing was kind of an everyday thing, and Clipse are known for doing that. Talking about drugs and talking about drug dealing in their songs. It's just what you kind of have to accept when you're listening to some hip hop and other genres of music, that drugs definitely play a part of it. And I'm not bothered by that. It doesn't affect me, but the content on here is definitely not the primary reason why I love it. It's more the lyrical delivery, the flow that they both have on here, and above all else, the production is absolutely mind-blowing. And the credit for that has to go to the Neptunes, of course. The Neptunes is production team headed up by Pharrell, who, of course, I'm sure most people in the VC know. One of the best hip-hop producers of all time. He's produced numerous great albums. And I think I haven't heard an album where he's been more on form production-wise than he is on here. Pharrell just nails every track. And the production is so varied, so interesting, so intricate, and he just does a great job in backing up both Pusha and Malice's deliveries, and it's just mind-blowing. One of the best production albums I've ever heard, certainly in hip-hop. So yeah, this is awesome. I can't say enough about this, and obviously to have it for the first time ever on vinyl. Only came out last year on vinyl. And the pressing is awesome. You've got the gatefold, as I've shown there, with a paragraph from both Pusha and Malice, just thanking various people for helping them with this album. Some nice pictures. The printing work is very nice. Nice thick cardboard. And then you've got probably my favourite thing about this, which is the coloured vinyl. You've got a very, very nice white vinyl with the silver label, and it feels pretty heavyweight. I'd probably say this is 180 gram. I'm not entirely sure though. And yeah, it doesn't take a genius to work out why this album is white, considering what I just said about the drug dealing aspect. Just put it that way, but all in all, can't fault this. And for £29, yes, it's a bit steep, but I'm sure I'm not going to regret it when I finally get this back to uni and have a chance to give it a spin. And just a masterpiece. If you're into hip-hop, check this out. I think it's one of those albums that will just draw you in straight away, and you'll be addicted to it for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I can't really foresee a time where I don't come back to Clipse or come back to this album and get the same enjoyment level out of it that I have done for the last couple of months. So yeah, massively happy to have this, and as I say, it's kind of a minor grail in my collection. So that pretty much wraps up the vinyl updates. Thank you very much for watching. I will be back definitely next week or the week after with another vinyl update, as I said at the start, showing my backlog of 2014 pickups that I didn't get around to showing. I might have some other videos up in the meantime, but I'm not going to guarantee anything there, but we'll see. But yeah, apart from that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.